By mid-July, the garden is full of abundance and my to-do list starts to become never-ending for the next few months. I've prepared and learned how to deal with these marathons of summer over the last few years, and the days are long but some of the most rewarding. Soon my yields will fade and summer will just be a memory, and I'll crave a day of hard work from sunup to sundown. Good morning, guys. So I clearly had a busy morning. I woke up very early because I was searching for bugs this morning. I have found hornworms twice this week. At like the very end of the day, I would see them crawling across soil once I got done watering. And of course, I've woken up the next morning, both mornings, and I've not been able to find a single one. I also randomly saw one squash bug yesterday. So I was just searching all over the place for eggs and bugs this morning. And of course, do I find much of anything? No, I didn't. And that's how it always works, right? It's always when you're not expecting it or you've looked and then it just randomly appears. So I did that this morning, but I also had to get a ton of stuff harvested. I clearly have this whole wheelbarrow of onions. Unfortunately, I'm not too thrilled with the onion harvest. Like, did I get onions? Yes. Are they big and everything? No. I tried so many different tricks this year, and honestly, that was probably my problem. I probably tried too much different stuff this year, and I think they maybe just got messed with too much. I don't know. The heat of the summer has been really intense this year, and I don't know. I think that really played a role because soil would just get really, really, really dry really fast, even though I was on top of watering. So I don't know. So onions like this are great to like throw in crock pots, throw in the cavities of like chickens and turkeys, throw in soup, stuff like that where you really want like an intense infused flavor. But this is a pretty packed onion. When they're this small, they're pretty strong, at least from my experience, even though I grew like sweeter types of onions. So unfortunately, that's kind of what we get. I have a lot, so these will get used. I'm not disappointed, but they could definitely have been better. And it's kind of the same story with carrots. So I had to pull my carrots this morning because last night when I was watering, I noticed that there was like 5 of them just going to seed. And again, I think it's just because our heat this summer has just been very intense. We really haven't caught a break minus like a handful of days. So like, I'm not really too happy with carrot harvest either. Did I get carrots? Yes, but they're small. I only have a handful that are actually like decent size like this. I went ahead and just pulled them all because if 5 or 6 of them are going to seed, they're all going to end up going to seed, and it was time to pull them anyway. I always have better luck with carrots in the fall, and I honestly like growing carrots in the fall better because you can just leave them in the ground because the ground kind of acts as a refrigerator, and when the carrots get exposed to that really cold, they get really, really sweet and they are just delicious. Honestly, if it wasn't for the taste of homegrown carrots, I probably would have given up by now. But I did have one good harvest this morning. I am growing a bunch of paprikas for paprika powder, and I got a bunch today, so I am going to go ahead and start drying them along with some cayennes. I have some banana peppers in here and some okra and cherry tomatoes. So I have a lot I have to do today, so I figured I was going to just take you guys along for the entire day because I have preserving I need to do. I have a ton I need to do in this garden. I need to go buy some mulch today because that's one thing, is some of the mulch is getting kind of thin, and with how hot it's been getting, I really need to layer it up. So if you don't mulch, it really does help retain that water, especially in the dead heat of the summer. But I also have a lot to do. I need to go ahead and hang these. I need to preserve okra, cucumbers, I need dried peppers. I have a smorgasbord of all sorts of things to do today. So let's get to it. So I am starting to deal with a little bit of fungal issues in the garden. Nothing crazy, definitely still manageable, but I am going around the garden before going in today and I'm gonna prune some things off, especially when dealing with any type of like blight or like rust. Make sure you are cleaning pruners because you don't want that disease to spread to other plants. And also you don't want to keep this type of foliage in your garden. This is the one time I will bag foliage and stuff like that. If there's any type of disease on leaves, they immediately just go in a bag and then they go into the trash. Unfortunately, I don't have like a big enough area where I could like burn everything either. But you don't want to keep that because that will end up continuing the spread a little bit more. I mean, you're gonna have, once it's in your garden, it's in your garden, but it really does just help contain it a little bit. See, I just keep randomly seeing more leaves. Alright, so it's been a few hours since I saw you guys. I took a shower, drank some coffee, and relaxed for a little over 5 minutes, more like a few hours, but we're back. We need to accomplish this today. So I've been putting this off. This is something I definitely need to get done today. I have okra I need to pickle, same with cucumbers, peppers I need to dry, carrots I need to wash. Then I also need to go through all of my tomato harvest over here, make sure that there are no like super ripe tomatoes that I need to get into my freezer bag. But yeah, there's definitely a lot I need to do in this kitchen. I also still need to make dinner. And if I have time, I would like to make cookies. I've been really wanting cookies and I just keep putting it off all week because I just have all this stuff that takes my attention first. But I'm like really wanting some chocolate chip cookies, so we'll see how much I can really bust out today. There's a lot to accomplish, but I think I can do it. So I actually decided I am not going to be doing any type of canning today. I honestly would probably be getting like 1 jar out of this okra, and that's a lot of effort for 1 jar. And as far as the other pickles go, I really don't have enough cucumbers, so I decided just to make like a cucumber lemon infused water. I'm gonna grab some mint out of the garden and throw that in there as well. But I have enough for my husband's like lunches and stuff, but I don't really have enough to pickle there either. The varieties I picked for cucumbers this year, I honestly am not too happy with. So I have tried so many varieties of cucumbers, and I don't know how I missed this small little detail on these varieties, but I went back in my seed packets the other day and I bought like compact varieties for cucumbers, which is great, but the vines only get to be about like 3 or 4 feet, and they're not like high production varieties. The very first year I did cucumbers, out of like 10 plants. I got over 200 cucumbers. I was swimming in cucumbers, and they took up about the same amount of space. So I'm not getting like the same amount of production, and I'm actually disappointed because I ordered like multiple different varieties that are all compact. So I really missed that detail. Unfortunately, I don't know how I missed it, but it's back to one of those things like this morning when I mentioned how like you have one season to try something slightly new, and it could either go really great or just not as what you expected. So unfortunately, I'm actually going to rip those out, and I need to get a few seeds ordered for seed starting here in a week for fall gardening, and we will have plenty of time to do one more round of cucumbers as long as I get them planted in the next like week or two. So I'm gonna look up a few other varieties. I still have plenty of time to get a lot of like pickles back, but I do need to get those replaced. So I'm gonna get this okra blanched, and yeah, I rambled there for a long second, but that was a long explanation on not canning today. I actually canned earlier this week. I did chicken breast for the very first time. I pressure canned chicken breast. I typically won't film something if it's like my very first time doing it, but that was the easiest pressure canning item I've ever done. It was fast, easy. The cleanup was very minimal, so I'm highly impressed. I still have to try a jar, but when I was like getting it explained to me, I was like, huh, yeah, we're gonna do that. So yeah, I canned up a bunch of chicken breast the other day. So honestly, that took a while that took a while. Pressure canning, like stuff like that, just it takes a long time. Each round takes like an hour and a half, 2 hours to like get up to pressure, down to pressure, and I'm waiting on water to boil, so you know. I'm exhausted, and I did not get done with everything that I wanted to get done today. I really wanted to flip those beds that I harvested today, but that can wait to some point this weekend. I'm not even going to worry about it. I got out here a little bit later than I wanted to. I wanted to get out here by 6, but it was really hot today. So I just stayed inside until about 7:30 because watering the garden when it's that hot is just really not enjoyable. And I still had a lot of cleanup I had to do inside. I had to cook dinner, so I handled all that before coming back out, and I just did not get as much done. But I am completely exhausted. Honestly, July, your to-do list will be never ending, no matter how small or big your garden is. This time of year is a hustle. Everything always needs your attention. If it's not one thing, it's another thing, and the garden will constantly keep you on your toes. I love July for the craziness. And you guys, really, the hustle will be gone before we know it. I really always have to remind myself that in the peak of summer when I am grinding this hard every single day, that like I get 2 to 3 months completely off from like my hobby, which is such a nice refresh because it really does allow me to enjoy these hustle moments. I know it can kind of be hard when you're in the beginning phases of gardening. My first few years gardening, I completely quit by August. I was like, screw this, this is way too much, I can't handle it. But throughout the years, I've learned how to manage it, and it's been a lot of fun, and I always kind of enjoy the surprises. Even though I do not enjoy hornworm surprises, I'm sure I'll be finding more soon. But I'm gonna sign off here. I'm tired, I want to shower, and I want to get to bed. I'm so tired. But I hope you guys enjoyed spending the whole day with me. I'll see you guys all next week.